Hello, once more. Here we are again, before you guys, and here in the spirit, happy and joyful in the spirit. Like what we feel in the flesh comes second compared to the spirit, you know. And this week, the topic is going to be come be filled with the spirit. Come be filled with the spirit. And we are going to be reading um John 3 verse 16, and we're going to read all the way down to 20. Me here with the great Roneal Roxborough.
Oh, well, go on.
Yeah, man. So
Well, go on. You got me
you have a
searching.
Bible with you?
Yeah, right here, cuz.
Yeah. So all right. So we're gonna start with 16, and we read the other 8.
All right, you said John?
Yeah, John 3 verse 16 to 20,
Okay, give me a second, my friend.
21.
I'll show you for John again, cuz.
All right.
Matthew, Mark, Luke, John. All right.
Yeah. Right after Luke, the boy.
All right, let's have a look.
Yeah.
All right. John 3, verse 16, right?
Yeah. 3 verse 16.
Okay. All right. All right. Found him. All right. Let's start. Go ahead first.
Let's go ahead first.
Yeah.
All right. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believes in him should not perish, but have everlasting life.
For God sent not his Son into the world to condemn the world, but that the world through him might be saved.
He who believes in him is not condemned, but he who does not believe is condemned already, because he has not believed in the name of the only begotten Son. And this is the condemnation, that the light has come into the world, and men love darkness rather than light, because their deeds are evil.
For everyone that does evil hates the light, neither cometh to the light, lest his deeds should be reproved.
But he who does the truth comes to the light, and his deeds may be clearly seen, that they have been done in God.
All right.
Yeah. So tonight's topic, come be filled with the Spirit. So, like, what do we actually mean by that? There is life where we know it as like in the physical, where we experience life, and there is life where people move in the spirit, where actions and all of that is not done from just how they feel, or your emotions come, and how you feel, what you think about, what you feel in your heart, but your movements is come from something deeper. deeper than the pain where you feel, deeper than the thoughts where you have a rhythm, a movement, which is different from that. So just like the analyzing of that now, if your mind can be thinking one thing, but you're choosing to do something outside of the thoughts in your mind, and if your heart can feel a certain type of way about somebody, and you still move towards them in a different way than your heart is feeling, there have to be something deeper than your heart, and that is spirit. So when we say come, be filled with the spirit, is being more of this, getting to understand this side of you more. And when we look at come, be filled, first we have to consider that to be filled, we have to empty out some stuff. That is a big, big part of being filled. And the next thing, we understand that being filled takes time. So, as we go along, we're going to break down a lot of stuff, go into some stuff as the Lord lead us, what to speak on. So, patience as we go along. Roneal, what you think?
Come and be filled, as you stated
Come
before.
and be filled with the Spirit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
with spirit. Yeah. Well, from personal experience, I can tell you, it's a wonderful thing to be filled with that spirit because it gives you such wisdom and such guidance toward this life we live where we need that more than anything else. Knowing that there is something guiding you beyond you is the most profound thing. And for me personally, I am very, very grateful for that.
true.
So when you say that, I understand from a personal level because most of my current motions and movement has to be dialogue with the Most High through guidance because my steps are not certain. So I have to make sure whatever I'm doing, I have to always in tune with Him for His wisdom and His guidance. And in order for me to have that connection with Him, as I said in previous videos, it wasn't that I was seeking for Him, but then when I seek Him for things, then I found Him. And that's the beauty about in tune with the Spirit is that you don't have to come right, but He can make you right. You don't have to come righteous, but He can make you righteous. I think best personally can use us when we are more broken. That's me, because I guess the experience and the empathy. So come as you are would be the best saying. And then He can know how to use what you've been through transformation to help others, because whatever you are going through or we are going through, I can guarantee you're not alone. Somebody else is walking that path. And as lost as maybe you are, and looking for someone to give them the hope and guidance through that journey. So as I said, come and be filled. It doesn't matter what state or condition you are, or what you're going through, or what you think you need. You don't need none of that. Just who you are. With every problems in the world, every confusion, everything that you think that is wrong about you, trust me, He can make it right about you, and you use that same experience to guide someone along the way. Because we can speak from personal experience. All we sitting here doing now is the same thing. The same last part now turned to a part of process and direction, and we are help to guide someone while someone is guiding us. So it's the same thing. So it's just the ability to understand that there is no condemnation, as we just read John. There is no condemnation. Come as you are. And as we know today, I don't know when nobody's gonna watch this video, but we're recording today on the third, which is crucifixion day. You get what I'm saying? The day of salvation. And just the intimacy where I had with him and keep on growing with him make I this day I'm so very grateful when I understand what salvation is from a level of deep understanding, knowing that he did what he did for us, seeing my personal day-to-day endeavors walk and stumbling and falling until he had to say to me, hey, you cannot work for this, you know. So if that was your objective, you might as well just stop. It was given unto you as a free gift. You just have to receive it.
True.
Yeah.
I mean, for a lot of people, I know the struggle that a lot of us face, and just want to put it out there and just put it on my spirit that belief is not absence of Christians. So, when put it, him say, if you believe, you shall be saved. He did not say if you have it all figured out. So it's about believing in God, that all your deeds may be done in God. So at the beginning, you notice it is speaking about Jesus Christ, but it says all your deeds have been done in God. Jesus spoke entirely about Father up in heaven. Jesus did not um, preach about himself. So for who is there, like, if you're struggling to believe in Jesus, start by believing in God, believing in the Heavenly Father. And the reason why I say this, Jesus says, if you see the Father, you see the Son. If you see the Son, you see the Father. Whatever there is about Jesus that makes you feel like you're not so sure, believe in God, and He will gradually teach you about His Son. And what is spirit is spirit. What is flesh is flesh. The only doubt about Jesus is from the flesh. When you understand spirit, all things which is of confusion will naturally fade away. Now, this is something that only you can accomplish because it is your free will. And it says, who believes? So nobody can believe for you. People can tell
Right.
you over and over this and that. Me and Roneal is here right now. Is a vessel for the Lord, not doing what we planned so we would have do. Here we are because we realize that something is there which is more important. And here we are. No, from our beliefs. So even though we've been through all of that and been through all of this and come and we talk, we know that nobody could have get us to believe. We have to take that upon ourselves.
Yeah.
And within that process, be prepared to feel empty sometimes, because when you come to God to be filled, there comes times of emptying out. You're going to lose people because they're contributing things that is not necessary. And the moment the Lord start work on that space in your heart, that space in your mind, those type of things what certain people bring, you're not going to be able to accept it anymore. For some reason, you're going to feel like you don't want this within the temple. You lose people, lose things, lose many things, but the gain from that, trust me, is something that you will never ever want to miss out on.
Hey, and as you speak about that we just said just now, we can use gossiping as an example. When you understand what gossiping does to you, because these are your words, they come from your body and they create your life. It doesn't create the next person's. So when you start to gossip, thinking you're condemning another person, you're actually condemning yourself because now you're verbalizing over your own life. Because you got the power of God inside of you and you speak to create. So when you know this now, then you understand why you're not supposed to gossip. Because you're only condemning your own self. So it's just knowing and understanding these things, which is sometimes it's just not knowing. And when you know and you apply it properly, then you get more wisdom and understanding from your life. But as you say, believing is a beautiful thing because believing now you're hoping and for experience. But when you know you have the experience and that knowing now for future reference now when something happens and occur again, then know you know he did it before because you had that experience. So hoping brings you to belief, and then belief now after the experience now brings you to knowing. Know you know. Know I know that the Lord is my keeper because he kept me. So when situation happens again, you may have to be reminded that hey, the Lord is still a keeper, you know. And one thing about him, his words never change. So despite the circumstances, he's still keeping you. So instead of focus on the circumstances and the happenings, then me look and see what are you trying to teach me here in these circumstances?
Mm.
Because the earth is the Lord and the fullness thereof. That a reminder to me that he's in control. So that means he allowed this to happen. So what is it you're trying to teach me? What is it you're trying to show me that I have neglected and try to bring back to the forefront of my mind? Because we're so strong in flesh, sometimes we get so fleshly. And you have to humble us. Raise my hand. So knowing that these things is like just to find in the moment in peace and serenity to ask the right questions. As you always say, a better questions. I always remember you say that. It's just a better questions in every circumstances. Instead of say, why me? Why not me? What strength and character this can build in me? What fortitude that can bring inside of me will make me more stronger unbreakable to circumstances of my life. And it's not even as much as being physically strong, but knowing that the happenings doesn't disturb your serenity. Whatever comes and whatever goes, you're still in tranquility. You're at peace because you are not controlled by the movements of things. The dollar goes up, you're gonna get heart attack. It goes down, you're gonna get glad. Bread still need to buy. You carry on. That's the reality of life. So when you stay in that pace of life, then the happenings of the world doesn't control your serenity. And then now you understand that hey, the Lord has got me before, and now I know that he's a keeper. Before I believe he was, but now I know.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean I'm not gonna have experiences. But DJ have to remind me, say, remember, say, you know that the Lord is a keeper, because I may need it. And that's why it's good to have people around you in a circle who can bring it back to the awareness of who you are and the path you're walking. Because you will get lost. in your own self, and your circumstances will pull you there back and forth. But someone who's standing on the outside and see the happenings can say, hey, pull yourself back together, man.
Yeah, my. No, like some people may ask a question, like, like, who do I need to be or where do I need to come from to be accepted by God? Like some people would say, you have to be a Christian to be accepted by God. But it is said that God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. Christianity does not makes up the entirety of the world. And some people would say you have to be a Muslim to be accepted by God. Muslim does not make up the entirety of the world. Some people would say, the gospel start in Africa. So, it has to be a black thing or a white thing or all of that is not, does not make up the entirety of the world. God is not a respecter of colors, religion, or anything like that. People impose religion on themselves. Checking every religion, you have brackets within the very religion. If you check in Christianity, you have so much denomination, which even though they are under one Christianity, they believe in so many different things that does not correspond with the other. So you cannot, the frustration of trying to live like that can make you stay away from God. So you cannot try to be a Christian, a Muslim, a Buddha. That God is not a religion. God is. He is the spirit. He is a spirit. He is eternal. Can you imagine a waterfall falling off a big cliff, hitting a next body of water below? But yet, you never see the water below being overflown. Where does all of that water come from? Where did it go? The mystery of God. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. You have to be willing to look at the world through God's eye. Not how you feel, not how you think. And if you think like you know everything about the world, is that really true? Is there nothing more to learn? Is there nothing more to understand? And we cannot do that without a teacher, a guide, because the world itself, while moving through the world, it needs somebody to teach. And that's why I would recommend the Spirit of the Lord. Even if you go say you don't believe in this name or that name, just start with believing, checking inside of you and seeing a space where there is no battles going on, no battles for name, no battles for title, no battle for color. There's a space inside of you where there is no confusion, there's no opinion. Believe in that. And within that, you will find the Spirit of the Lord waiting there to accept you just as you are. Not just as he expects you to be, but just as you are. And from there, all things that should go will start pack their bags. Some will leave instantly, some will take some time. And all things that should come and will stay will come and will stay. But you have to just believe right there, right then, where you're there right now, with every hate and malicious thought in your mind, with every love and every deep feelings. Just believe that there is greater than that. And you will be guided to find balance between all of these things in life.
You know, love is a thing that not the most I do, but he is. And in order for us to reach to him, as the song say in the background, you have to love one another. One of the things we have to practice is if we love the people that we bring the rest of us. We have to learn to love unconditionally in terms of not because of what someone does for you or what they cannot do. When you practice love this deeply, it brings you closer and closer to the Most High. Personally, I believe that. And it is a very hard thing to do. That's why it's so worthy. Practicing loving people, seeing them as stop have expectation, and then now you will feel like you haven't expected to have expectations. Because that's one of the barriers, if you feel like the most I will condemn you, is because probably you've been condemning someone.
Mm-hmm.
Remember I speak about before gossiping, create your own. Yeah, so it's like but when you start to view from the level of loving them where they are, then you understand the empathy to you as you know, then you realize that you are just broken as they are. You are just as lost as they are and confused as they are, just on a journey as you are, and then you feel the warmth of love for strangers inside of you. Then you start accumulating the heart of God. Because heal people heals people. You understand me? I say. So when you start to become healed within yourself, then you start to draw closer to the Most High. When you start to see people brokenness, and then you start to feel empathy towards them instead of condemning them.
True.
That's the way you pull closer to the Most High. Because we have to love each other. We see every day, and people around me. And they're not going to behave the way I want them to behave. And I'm not going to behave the way they want. So we practice loving each other. So we get closer to the heart of the Most High. Pull closer to him that way through loving each other. Because he put us here to live amongst each other. To unify amongst each other. And when we can find that love in each other and start to love each other and stop condemning each other, then I believe you will find his heart more and more each day. As I said, it's a journey. It's not supposed to be easy because for some reason it's very hard. And I'm still trying to figure that out. So, and maybe I will never figure it out in my journey. Maybe it wasn't designed for me to figure it out, but I make a commitment on a day-to-day basis to choose to love people. Despite how they make me feel. I do got boundaries, That's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
You gotta have boundaries. But that doesn't mean like you become a doormat and allow people to walk over you. No, we don't do that. Because before we were saved, we were warriors. So we still have the scars of warriors. When I play games, that's a beautiful thing about being saved. You've been saved from something. So These things now make you know how to have healthy boundaries now. Instead of you be rebellious about these things, rebel anymore. You go about in the righteous way. So the heart of God is true love. And we have to love people who we can't stand, who can't stand we, and then automatically I believe you shall pull closer and closer to him. And you will find him right in the middle of love. Yeah.
Yeah, and such an interesting topic. Come be filled with the spirit. And going to just let my closing statement be surrender. The aspect of surrendering. We can always do things, we do it or we want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And trust me, as a person who have been on that road and tried it, you know, there comes a time where we go just realize our way does not work. And the the quicker a person gets out of their ego and realize that they literally need God. Because in life, like just think about it. Everything that you're going about in life, you go to school for it. You go get some form of education on it, and every journey you're going on, you do a local research,
Mm-hmm.
you take a local guidance, right? So what about your spiritual? If you can sit there and say you do not believe that there's something more to you than just your body, fine. But if you sit and you realize and you feel it and know that something is there beneath all of this, there's something there other than just your physical, don't you think that you need guidance with that aspect of you? And then you realize that the only person who teaches about this aspect of you is Jesus. That is the only person who teach the raw, frank truth about who we are, who we can be spiritually, who we can be physically. Don't be caught up in the rumors and the gossip and the description that people put out there of God, but get to know God for yourself. Get to know God for yourself. And that is the most important thing you will ever hear coming from my mouth. As long as you hear me talk, nothing no more important than this one thing what me I tell you. Get to know God for yourself. Going in the age of AI and how AI can use people identity and how AI can twist things and make it look real, get to know God for yourself. That is very important. There's no more important thing right now. You need to get up knowing that God is there. It's not about after you go and check out a ceremony or hear a song, or it's about getting up knowing God is there and He lives. He was sacrificed on the cross, removed from the cross to the tomb, and from the tomb He was risen, living. And you need to know that. You need to believe that. and everything will become clear to you. All your questions will be answered, but you just start with the belief.
Wow. Based on what you just said, that's one of the things that me I always stand strong belief and is getting to know the most out of yourself personally. That intimate relationship is the most important of all things. Despite everything else we ever say, I will come and say if that is the most important, as you say, above all else, intimacy with the most high is the most important thing because you have a specific communication for everybody differently. Everybody interaction with him is different. Mine is not the same as yours. Everybody intimacy is different. So when you get to know him, then he will guide you into all truths of your life and the purpose for your life. Um, the beauty of the creature is to become nothing, so God can become everything. Andrew Murray, the book, Humility. I never forgot that. The beauty of the creature is to become nothing, so God can become everything through the creature. So it's like when we read that, I remember that at all times in a space like now, where we just say we just make the most of the flow, become nothing, not take up no book, no. We study enough throughout the years and we keep on studying. So there's a come a time when we just want you to just speak.
Yeah.
The vessel become empty, so you have your way. Surrender our will. Do whatever you please. Because whatever you do is well done. And that's one of the things that me daily try to embark in, giving up me so he can have his way. And it's a wrestle in the morning and throughout the day. Because sometimes you catch me in a me. It's one of the beautiful things when you know you know, so. You know? So in regards to, yes, I get to know the Most High personally. And he will guide you into all wisdom, all truth. And you can't go wrong with that. I don't make promises, but I can promise you that one. You're gonna have some
Yeah.
obstacle. And if you don't believe, we go read Psalms 34, verse 19. Many are the afflictions of the righteous. It's your personal, but the Lord delivers them out of them all. Many, not some, many are the afflictions of the righteous. So when you become righteous, let nobody fool you until you say it's going to be an easy road. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivers them out of them all. Keeps his bone, not one has been broken. So trust in the Lord and do good, and he will deliver you and make your path straight. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was another one. Trust me. The need for be here, man. Lift up on the spirit. Lift up on the spirit. Be enlightened. Be in the best state of mind regardless of any situation. Because when you know that there is a source outside of you, inside of you, around you, working for you, regardless of what's coming against you, it's a whole different you.
Different ball game.
Different.
Boy, that's it.
Yeah, man. So for guidance or counseling, we're going to drop the numbers and email address in the description. And the counseling and guidance is for free. Be mindful that it is not free because it is not valuable. If we realize that you're wasting our time and we discern by the Spirit that you're not seriously interested, we will not entertain it. So if you're a person that likes to waste time just to create some form of distraction, I'm telling you from now that won't work in this corner. But if you're a person who genuinely need guidance, of genuine Christians willing to have a discussion, not necessarily hearing what you want to hear, but to hear what you don't want to hear, question about what you don't want to hear, to figure out if you should be hearing it or you should not be hearing it from your own free will. That's something that will happen. Having a discussion and growing from it until you find the truth by yourself. Not what come out of full mouth, but by your spirit growing to the point of where you can discerning what is truth, what is lies. And this was powerful choices. And as we always say, shalom,
Shalom,
shalom.
shalom.